you look at her you look at her age, and you don't think that she may have a lot of experience, but she does. She has a ton of experience against a lot of tough competition, and she's really working her way back up. Looked very impressive in her last fight. Shino VanHoose is on with us right now. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. We were just talking off air about the idea that you're just moved down here to Vegas and kind of getting settled in that as well. How's that been for you to kind of come down here and settle here in Vegas and work with a new team and get in, basically be in fight camp right now?
Yeah. The transition's been smooth. It's always different. Actually, my new head coach, Tony Frickland, also lived down in Boise, and he was training my boyfriend, Vince, at the time, and so we all knew each other and everything, and then when he heard that me and Vince were going to come move down to Vegas, he thought, he has family here, so he just decided to kind of do the move with us. So it's been easier, I think, than if I were to have gone to a brand new gym, since he's already known me and everything. But it's definitely still, I'm in the transition process of like the whole new team and getting kind of adjusted to their style and everything too. But it's been great. It's been a great camp. It's been fun.
So, I mean, being from Idaho, obviously there's a lot more harsher winters down here, and then there's a lot better winters down here and all that as well. And the weather down here is a lot better. I mean, a lot more conducive, although it's a lot hotter and all that as well. How's it been for you to kind of, just physically make the move from Idaho down here to Vegas?
It's been great. I actually enjoy the heat, so I love the summertime. I love it being hot. I was actually just asking somebody about how the winters are here, because when I imagine Vegas, I imagine warmer winters, but I heard it actually gets really cold, so I was kind of bummed about that. But yeah, I love the heat, so it was easy.
Yeah, I mean, was this something where you were looking to kind of fight right away once you got down here or whatever, or was it a situation where Shannon just gave you a call and say, hey, we got an opponent, would you be willing to fight?
Well, since my knee injury last year, I was told that I'd probably make a quicker recovery. I had an ACL reconstruction. Usually that takes over a year, but I was told that mine would probably be a bit faster, so October 1st will actually be a year since I had surgery, and my mindset was just kind of, once I'm able to do everything, once I'm able to move around, just get fight ready, and so that I don't have to get cleared to fight and then train for a fight and then fight. I can just kind of, I'm good, I'm ready, I can just hop in and go. So
yeah, and that brings me to a couple questions from Purple Storm over on the Sheerdog forums. He was asking about, first of all, just being behind the scenes of Invicta and being able to fight for them, and what's kind of your experience? You've been through this experience before, where you're going through the process of Invicta as well. I mean, what was it like for you to kind of go through that experience behind the scenes and work with Shannon and her team?
Oh, I love it. They're so sweet. They work with you so well, whatever you need. I love it. I couldn't ask for anything more from them.
In terms of the media and like the photo shoots and all that as well, I mean, was that something a little bit more new to you? And how was that?
When I first fought for Invicta, for sure, yeah, the whole photo shoot thing, the media day thing was definitely the bigger weigh-ins and stuff. Though that was definitely new, a little intimidating, but I think my second time around fighting for Invicta, it was just work. I knew what to expect. I think that's where I had a little advantage over Elise in that fight, because I knew what I was doing. I knew what we were doing. This was all just another day in the office. And I think when I fought Amber Brown, it was my first time on a big stage, a really big stage, and I think I got a little intimidated, But now it's all part of the process. It's kind of the fun part about fight week, so I get excited about it.
Another question to ask, any pre-fight rituals do you do?
Not really. I can't really think of any rituals. Yeah, I'm not really one I just kind of go with the flow, do as I'm told by coaches, and by the promotion. I'm not really one to have my own rituals, really.
And then his final question is, any music or reading that you enjoy, anything that you do outside of.
Anything that I enjoy. I think, I don't know, I just kind of go with the flow, do as I'm told by coaches, and by the promotion. I'm not really one to have my own rituals, really. And then his final question is, any music or reading that you enjoy, anything that you do outside of.
Anything that you do outside of
Vince is kind of more the music guy in our little in our family, so I would say like he's listening to the music the majority of the time, so it's kind of whatever he's listening to. But lately we've been listening to a lot of like NF, so we enjoy like that rap type, that mainstream rap type of music. And then outside of training, we're so busy with training that we're such homebody people that we just like to stay at home and watch Netflix and chill. I do like to go out and adventure when I'm not in camp, when I'm not training as much or anything. I like to go even just like visit new restaurants and kind of explore the area and like see what's around and stuff like that. I do like to do stuff, go out to see a movie or something, but yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, sometimes a fighter's life is not really that. You figure it'd be kind of exciting, but sometimes it's just not exciting.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's funny. Whenever people ask if what I like to do and stuff, it's usually just kind of stay at home and chill because I'm usually like getting beat up the majority of the day, so I'm pretty tired from that.
Any idea what your walkout song's going to be?
No, I haven't even thought about that yet. Thanks for reminding me. I haven't even thought about that yet.
Now, just talking about some of your history, and I think a lot of some people may know about it, mm-hmm. Some people may not, but just being able to, at a very young age, to be able to have your MMA debut and to be able to train out in Japan, and then coming here to back here to the States, and just start to really kind of develop your skills. How has it been for you as a fighter to kind of progress and just training between what the Japan system is versus the American system is? How tell me a little bit about that. How kind of you evolved as a fighter, and what your roots were in terms of that gym versus what you're kind of doing now.
Yeah. Man, I was so young. I was only 16 when I made my pro debut. I had like one amateur fight, and I think that even ended up being a pro fight. So that I kind of just jumped in with the Wolves right away at a young age. And I don't know, I think that I'm very blessed to have all those opportunities and experiences and, like push myself, challenge myself from the very beginning. But I do sometimes wish that I kind of took it a little slower and just kind of, tested the waters a little bit, see how I did. But sometimes you just got to pull the trigger and go, right? Sometimes you just got to do it. So I think, and if you watch my fights from back then, they're all on Fight Pass. It's kind of embarrassing. But if you watch my fights from back then, you can totally tell the difference of like the fighter I was then compared to now, and I think I feel the progress from when I was 16 to now that I'm 24, and my mentality is totally different from when I was 16 to now, and so I get excited for every fight just because I know the growth that I've gone through.
Really, Shannon's really open to the fact that you could fight pretty much. If there's any downtime mm-hmm. in between cards, you can pretty much fight whenever. If you were given the option of possibly fighting back home in Japan, like for Ryzen, would that something that would be interesting?
Oh, for sure. I've been wanting to fight back in Japan, whether it was for Risen or for Pancrase. I made my debut with Pancrase, my MMA debut with Pancrase, so to go back and fight for them again would be cool, like I would love to fight in Japan again, or like Road FC in Korea again. That would be fun too, like I would love it. I think those like opportunities are important too,
Yeah, it's interesting now that CO is over in Risen right now, and she's she has a fight coming up. If she wins that fight, her versus Ayaka too is probably mm-hmm. going to be one of the biggest atomweight mm-hmm. fights there's ever been, mm-hmm. Which will be an interesting kind of situation too. So yeah, there's always those opportunities as well, and just to see how the atomweights are doing, in the East right now is kind of intriguing.
It's amazing. I feel like as an atomweight, I feel like a lot of the good fights are kind of in Japan, because a lot of Japanese girls are smaller, so they're more my size. But yeah, it's amazing to see how like the MMA community in Japan has grown too, and and Risen's doing a great job with promoting everybody.
Yeah, it's great to be able to see that as well. Just going back to that, the idea of the atomweights. a lot of people are arguing, maybe they should be in the UFC now because some people say that there's not enough talent, but over the past year or so, we've been seeing a huge exponential growth in terms of that.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it deals with Risen, part of it deals with Invicta having a really good solid division and really growing up some really good amateur and pro talent.
Mm-hmm.
What's your kind of thoughts on that? The idea that there's so much more talent now coming up in your division.
Yeah, I totally think the atomweight division deserves to be on the UFC platform. I think that we're squirmy little feisty girls, but and I think that if the UFC did get the atomweight division in, I think you would see a bigger growth in it because I think a lot of atomweights went up to the strawweight division when they signed the strawweight girls too. So you kind of see a chunk of the atomweights kind of go up so that they get their chance in the UFC. So I feel like maybe not all of them, but some of them would come back down maybe. And yeah, like I said, Japan, you can they can bring over a lot of girls too. They're so much smaller.
Yeah, you saw that with the bantamweights because Jessica was a bantamweight when she came in. Caitlin Chukagian was a bantamweight when she came in. And then conversely, we have Michelle Watterson, who was the former atomweight champion in Invicta. Jessica Penne, former champion as well. It is kind of crazy the fact that there is so much. Loma just signed with UFC, which was my jaw dropped kind of that she decided to.
Atomweight?
Yes.
Oh.
She's going up to strawweight to face Alexandria Albu in Singapore.
Oh wow.
So yeah, she's the first Thai to ever sign to UFC, which is interesting.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah. So yeah, Loma, and I'm a little bit disappointed because Loma is such a great atomweight. She's so talented.
And she's only had 2 fights, right?
3?
Oh, 3?
I think so.
2 or 3, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know she lost one, and then she ended up winning another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think we watched her in Salt Lake when Invicta went to Salt Lake last March.
Yeah.
I think we watched her. But
I know she had a couple fights.
Yeah, I thought she was great.
Exactly. I'm interested to see her at 115, but people were speculating maybe they're thinking about maybe bringing atomweights in, but
it was kind of crazy. Small for a 15.
Exactly, and that's why people were speculating. Like she's a little bit small for 15. Maybe they'll consider it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of amazing to see that.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So
good for her though. Challenge herself, and hey, why not? If you get an opportunity like that. But like I said, I feel like that's another good reason to. That's another atomweight that just went up. And So
So I think that it's almost time, and knowing that the ESPN deal is going in now, and they're talking about the Ultimate Fighter, coming back.
Oh, are
they?
Oh wow.
Sorry, So yeah,
updated on any of this.
They're talking about the Ultimate Fighter being back. So it's like, it would be a huge ratings get to try to do an atomweight tournament to make a Toronto champion. So
yeah, that would be cool.
So that would kind of came to my mind as well. Well, then there's another piece of news you might not know. I'll be surprised if you don't know it, but it's something exciting that's going on. Shannon had said that she had talked to Dana White, and I am 95 to 99% sure, and I'm pretty sure she's 95 to 99% sure, but Shannon said if Shannon gets her way, Shannon gets her way. They'll be starting to do cards over at the Apex.
Oh yes, I heard that.
Yeah,
yes, I did hear that.
Yeah.
By December or something, right?
December. Yeah, I got to talk to Shannon about that.
Yeah, something like I did hear that though, which would be super cool since now we live here. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was excited too, just because I could cover it without having to travel.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really excited about that as well.
Yeah, definitely big things, and I feel like it's all in the right direction, and so more exposure for the smaller weight classes, and I think atomweights deserve a lot more attention than we're getting, but you just gotta show the world, right? You just gotta prove it in the pudding.
Yeah, and there's a lot of misconceptions about atomweights. The fact that they're smaller, they don't hit as hard, they don't finish their fights, and usually point him to see how he has.